Welcome back, students. I am Vidana Joshi and you are watching SST Joe. Students, in our today's last video of the chapter, the world population, we are going to cover few more topics about the world population, in which first we will cover the population change, in which we will study about the impacts of population change, which can be negative impacts as well as the positive impact. In the second topic of today's video, we will study about the demographic transitions, means the transitions of population, under which we will study the transition theory of population and the three stages of the demographic transition. At the last, we will study the last topic of our today's video, that is the population control measures, means what are the steps taken by the government to control the overpopulation of their countries. And the most important part of our today's video are some important questions which has been asked last previous years in the board exams. So for that, first we will go through our first topic, that is population change. Students, what is population change? Population change is the changing in the number of the people in a given area, where the population change can be done due to the birth rate, death rate, and due to the migration, in which we can say in migration as well as the out migration, in or out migration. So there is the population can be changed into the positive way when it is the positive population change. When the numbers of births are increased in a given area, so that time the population is changing into the positive growth. And if the deaths are increased in a given area, so it can be the negative change in the population. So there we are having two types of population change, that is the positive population change and the negative population change. And due to the migration also, the population can be changed into the negative as well as positive. So migration is also a reason behind the population change of a country or a given particular area. And the population is also affecting in many ways, which are also in two parts. These are the positive impact of the population change and the negative impacts of the population change. So now let's see what are the impacts of the population change. Let's see what are the impacts of the population change. The population change can be given two type of impacts, that is the positive impact and the negative impact. In which, in the positive impact, if we will say, as the human beings are the resources, so the qualitative development of resource. But in the negative impact, if we will say, of the population change, there can be the depletion of resource and also scarcity in the resource are some negative impacts. So now let's see in detail what are the impacts of population change. Now let's see the positive impact of population change. Nations with higher populations are better able to raise money on a national level, and this can lead to more international clouds. For example, China has a relatively low per capita income, but its large population gives it tremendous influences. Second positive impact of the population change can be the increasing population ensures increase in the labor force. Lack of growth in the labor force will make a country static, retarded, and gets to equilibrium at less than full employment level of the economy. The next impact in the positive way can be the investors would like to invest in a country with a large population. As the population continues to grow, so will be the growth in demand for food, shelter, clothing, etc. Now let's see some negative impact of population change. As a result of overpopulation, the available resources would not be able to do round, and this will result to poverty in the country. Overpopulation leads to unemployment, and this is as a result of the number of people looking for job outruns available resources. Next, the low per capita income if production level does not increase. And the next impact of population can be the increase in imports, which will result to balance of payment defect. Apart from this, in order to have a growing economy, a small increase in population is boon, but when it grows beyond limit, then it creates all sorts of problems like dearth in resources, infrastructure facilities, population unrest, etc. Both a very small and large population are a cause of concern. A small population may lead to lack of manpower for developing the available resources, while a large population put pressure on the limited resources of a country. So both the cases may lead to low economic development, and it is not only quantity but also the quality of people that matters in the impact of population change. Now let's see what is the demographic transition. Demographic transition. The theory of demographic transition is based upon two things. Theory is talking about two things, that is the economical development of a country and the demography of the country. Of the country. Here we will talk about both the things. The economical development of a country and the demography of the country are having the negative correlation, because if the population of a country is increased, so there the economy of the country can be decreased, and if the population is stable, so economy will be also stable. And the positive correlation between economical development and the demography, if we want to say there, if the resources are fully qualified and also having some qualified skills, they may increase the economy of their country. Now let's see more about the demographic transition theory. As the demographic transition theory gives us the relationship between the level of economic development of a country and its demographic characteristics. This model gives us well documented trends of modern times over place, periods, and events. It mentions the transitions of a society from a phase of high fertility and mortality to a phase where both come down to low. This impacts their demographic characteristics in significant ways over the years, and the countries move from primitive agricultural, illiterate, and rural economy to a modern industrial, literate, and urban states. Initially, there were three stages of the theory. These stages were stage of slow population growth, stage of beginning of industrial revolution, and stage of late industrial revolution. Now let's see what were the stages in detail. Stage 1, that is stage of slow population growth. It started with human civilization and continued till the recent past, thereby making it as the longest period of population growth. This stage was marked by both high birth rate and high death rates. So population growth rate was very low. Agriculture oriented activities depend on the nature, leading to low productivity. Society was highly literate with poor technology. Large families with high birth rate were the norms as they had to compensate the high death rate. About a couple of centuries back, all the economics were at this stage of demographic transition. Stage 2 is of the beginning of industrial revolution. With betterment of economic condition and living standards, this stage started with improvement of medical facilities, sanitation, and as a result, death rate went down, but birth rate remained high. This gave rise to a sudden increase in population, which is common in a developing economy. In this stage, the significant features were the rate of which the birth rate and death rate were declining, though both of them were falling. The rate of fall in death rate was much faster than that of birth rate, creating a wide gap between them, which in turn gave rise to sharp increase in population, often termed as population explosion, which triggered by the better medical facilities and food supply. Then the third stage, stage of late industrial revolution and urban stages. Typically characterized by low and stable growth rate of population. This stage is marked with a decline in birth rate along with a steady decrease in death rate. The mortality rate gets very low and stabilities by the later part of the second stage, and the birth rate also declines, thereby almost bridging the gap between birth rate and death rate. This demographic transition theory clearly shows how an economy changes from an agrarian, illiterate, rural states with high birth rate and death rate to an industrial, literate, and urban states with low birth rate and death rate through technological innovations and medical improvements. Now, by seeing the explosion in the population, countries have decided to do some population control measures, in which they decided to spacing or preventing the birth of children in family planning. This significant factor in limiting population growth and improving women's health is the family planning. Measures like propaganda, free availability of contraceptive, and tax distinctive for large families help in population control. Thomas Malthus states that the number of people would increase faster than food supply. From the sustainability or our resources, the world will have to control rapid population increase. Any further increase would result in a population crash caused by famine, diseases, and war. Preventive checks are better than physical checks. Here are few measures to control the population, which are as first, ensuring that people have easy and cheap access to contraception tools with help avoiding cases of unwanted pregnancies and births. Second, education forms the backbone of an individual and economy. Once educated people know and understand the harms which a high population growth rate persists. Education, especially women's education, can work wonder in controlling population. An educated man and woman can really understand the benefit of a small family. Empowering women with a say in matters concerning them like childbirth and educating them to fight against discrimination will ensure a healthy and aware society. The fourth measure can be taken as the people need to be told and made to understand the consequences of having too many children. Government and non-government institutions can carry awareness campaigns informing people how they will be unable to provide good nutrition, education, or medical facility to their children if they have too many. The fifth measure can be taken as the incentives have proved to be an efficient policy measures in controlling to the excessive population of a country. Providing a health education or even financial incentives can be a highly effective population measure. 6. One big drawback of developing countries is that of limited and highly centric medical facilities. If provided with optimum medical facilities, population rate will almost certainly decline. 7th, delayed marriage. Young and marriage devoid people of the education and awareness required to be sensitive towards the understand the consequences of raising too many children. A UN report has suggested that there would be a significant decline in world population if the legal for marriage is made 20 years. Students, here our third topic of the chapter, the world population, is complete. At the last of the video, I am going to provide you some important questions which were asked in the last previous years in the board. We will discuss a new chapter in our next upcoming videos, and for that keep watching SST June. And don't forget to watch the questions which I am providing you at the last of the video. Question number 1. How is the actual growth of population calculated? Answer. Actual growth of population can be calculated as birth minus death plus in migration minus out migration. Question number 2. Which continent has the highest growth rate of population? Answer is Africa. Question number 3. Which parts of USA and Europe have density more than 200 persons per square kilometer? Answer is eastern part of USA and northwestern part of Europe. Question number 4. How is density of population of a region calculated? Its answer is the density of population of a region is measured by person living per square kilometer. Fifth question is, why do people migrate in large number from rural to urban areas in India? Its answer is in India, people migrate from rural to urban areas mainly due to poverty, high population pressure on the land, lack of basic infrastructural facilities like healthcare, education, etc. Next question is, what do you mean by the term population distribution? Answer is, population distribution refers to the way people are spaced over the earth's surface. Pattern of population distribution and density help us to understand the demographic characteristics of an area. Last question. What was Thomas Malthus' theory? Answer. Thomas Malthus in his theory stated that the number of people would increase faster than the food supply. Any further increase would result in population crash caused by diseases, famine, and war. Preventive checks are better than physical checks. For future sustainability, world population need to be controlled.